Welcome to CasualBCH, a podcast about Bitcoin Cash and smartBCH, where we constantly go off the rails and talk about everything crypto. I go by the handle Sayoshi Nakamario and created the website helpme.cash.
And I'll correct you again and say, I created, you made. I go by the handle Vin, and I want ice cream.
Okay. Today we talked about Fog of War, DEXs, and NFT games.
Let's talk about FOG.
Sounds lame.
No, fuck you. All right, so we have roughly a week until our art for our NFTs for the heroes that should be done.
Maybe, probably not, but, timelines.
And besides that, it's...
we were supposed to be done this like a month and a half ago.
You were supposed to get off your lazy ass.
Well, somebody helped for once,
I help.
That's true.
I tell you to do things.
Oh, yeah, you give priorities.
And add more.
You manage.
Yeah, and I add more ideas to make it better.
Yes, feature creep.
Yes, I'm the idea bin.
You're the reason the features are creeping.
That's because I'm brilliant.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes. Okay, anyway.
So, ETA, couple of years.
Yes. Yes. So, currently, where are we at in code world?
Something like, I don't know. I think I put it in Telegram earlier, but it was like 10 contracts are there. Mm-hmm. Some of them have been tested. Some have not been. That's kind of the next stage, is to finish the current contracts I'm working on, which is for the arena, then start moving into testing mode and test everything. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're at.
All right. Web page wise?
There actually is web page
I was going to
stuff.
say, there is a web page.
We just haven't been focusing on it lately.
Yeah.
So I guess a more general, I don't think we've went over this before, was the dual farming already works.
Yes.
We could technically release that today, but we're not.
And the dual farming on the web page side technically works.
Yeah, all that fully works. It's fully done.
Mm-hmm. Though the boxes do need to change size.
Which boxes?
That are the actual farm box that says like this token, APR, yada yada yada. They need to get bigger. Just because the
for the new stuff. Yeah, no. I'm talking about the dual farming works right now. If we could release the website and the fog token and have it dual farming, and you would get your tokens, you'd get your fog, but we don't want to release it until all the NFT stuff is done. So we want the entire thing to be finished and working rather than release it bit by bit by bit.
Well, but the NFT stuff is like the contracts for the NFT are pretty much done.
Yep. And
the staking for the chess is 90% done. We have a few things we need to add on still.
A couple minor things. The heroes are done.
We're just waiting on the artwork.
The arena is halfway, I'd say.
Depends on how much more feature creeping I do, but
That's true. If you go back in Telegram, it's like one of my messages. We have 6 contracts and we have 1 more, and then we're moving into testing phase.
Yeah.
We now have 10 contracts and we're working on at least 1 more.
And the one might be too big where you need to also split it more.
That was part of the reason, but
yes.
Yeah. I might have to split it more because one of the other ones got too big.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but am I not? I don't think I have to technically, because I think it allows you to do it. You just have to enable optimization when you deploy. Random technical thing, but it should be okay. I haven't done it with that yet, so I was assuming I had to break them apart.
Right, because of the Ethereum thing. And
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, it's chugging along. A couple more people are finding the group.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What is it? Early April? I'm hoping that by the end of this month,
it'll be fully out. Well, it'll be in its test week.
Maybe, yeah. I'm hoping testing is running.
As
in testnet, as in we are inviting people to come onto Fog's website,
yes,
which runs on testnet.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Ideally, I'd like it to be quicker than that, but yes.
Oh, of course. Kind of depends on the hero art because we don't really want to launch without it. Mm-hmm. And if that gets pushed back for some reason, we might just wait for that to finish.
Yes.
The artwork is, we're definitely just kind of leaping into the unknown with it because we're working with River Asia, has a big BCH history.
Yes.
And they've been doing lots of stuff, which kind of part of the reason we went with them and trusted them because we've already paid them up front. Mm-hmm. So we're just kind of hoping that deal doesn't fall through. If it does, worst case scenario, we're going to have to figure out different art.
Yeah.
So that might push it back.
Crooked stick men kind of thing. Like, maybe.
Go stick figures?
Yeah.
I mean, can you draw the BCH wizard, the old one?
Nope.
No? Really?
You mean the one that's figures. On... Oh, not the one on Reddit?
No, the one on Reddit. The blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah, magic internet money?
Yeah, no.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
I could Photoshop it by taking it off Reddit and pasting it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I probably can't do that, actually. I don't really do Photoshop either. I could do it in Paint and then like take a snip of it or something.
Hey, Paint can be pretty powerful. You know how to use it.
I don't.
You can read Solidity code and you can start coding some basic stuff, but you can't use Paint. Okay.
All right. Yes.
What?
Well, we were gonna get the cool art piece for the top.
And the dungeons.
Yeah.
Right. In theory, that shouldn't be that hard.
No, hopefully not. That's just a single image. That shouldn't take more than a week for somebody to create each of them. Mm-hmm. I should do that. Probably tomorrow.
We'll wait till the website's actually up and we can see what sizes we need and stuff.
Okay, so I don't have to do it tomorrow?
No.
Nice.
Is there anything else fog specific?
So I was going to say, do we want to do any like soft shilling here?
In what? Go for it.
Go for it?
Yeah, shill away.
All right. So the plan currently will be we will get the hero art and we will do a pre-sale of that.
Yes.
Those pre-sale heroes, because all the NFTs have bonuses.
Yes.
And
should we do the specifics?
I was going to say, I don't really know if we've gone into the specifics.
I don't think
in the
so.
Last one.
It's kind of hard to remember what we've talked about. Okay, so heroes, what are they?
They are magic internet pictures.
So you described NFTs. Congratulations.
Okay, so the heroes will have a level, a power, a boosting. I think that's it. But they technically do different things for different things.
Yeah, so heroes will have a level, a boost, and a power. So the power is used for the arena. It's basically how powerful a hero is. Mm-hmm. The level,
like how much damage you do kind of thing?
Pretty much. The level is the level of the hero, which when you level up, it gives you more power. And it also gives you more boosting, which is the other stat. Mm-hmm. The level won't be capped, so it can, in theory, go up forever.
Yes. Which will give you more power.
Which will give you more power, yeah, as you level up. The boosting will be capped, though.
Yes.
So a hero will have a maximum of 20% boost. And that boost will apply to farming the arena and the dungeon chests, which is staking for NFTs. And it'll affect them in different ways. Mm-hmm. So the farming one will be the straight 20% extra fog.
Yes.
Rewards for the farming. The pre-sale heroes will be the exact same thing, except they'll start at level 5, and their max level will be 25, not 20.
Max boost power.
Max boost power,
no,
sorry. Yeah,
level.
The level will go up. The max boost power will be capped at 25.
So they get a 5 level head start and then a 5 extra boost.
5 extra max, yeah.
And then the other NFTs, which will be your sword, shield style.
Yeah, so it's basically an offensive item and a defensive item, you can think of it as.
So you can equip 3 NFTs on everything.
Yeah. 3 NFTs on your farms, each individual farm. 3 NFTs on each chest, which will be 6 chests, dungeons, and they're the same thing in our mind. So there's 6 dungeons.
Which you get a chest, which is an NFT.
Yeah. And so each of those can have 1, and then each of those can have 3 NFTs on them, and then each arena, which... Well,
there's 1 arena. So then there's an arena that will have a duel for who wins farms, but then there's 2 arenas, and then there's the arena farms that win.
Kind of, yeah.
So we'll have permanent farms, temporary farms, and a voting battle, basically.
The specific terminology we haven't 100% nailed down.
Words are hard.
Yes. So for I don't even think we've talked about the arena much.
Not really.
I think the white paper had a slight bit, the draft one in Telegram. So essentially the arena...
I don't think I read that, to be honest with you.
Okay. So essentially the arena is going to be a list of whitelisted token pairs.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to approve them first. So if you have, say, I don't know, let's pick on Joy.
Okay.
Because it's mooning right now. So if you have Joy BCH on Mist or eBen or Tango, depending on who we go with, you can bring that token to Fog and request it to be one of the arena farms. Mm-hmm. So when it's on the list, somebody has to pay for the farm to get entry into the arena, which
will burn the fee.
So for now, we're just going to say 100 Fog.
Yeah.
May not be final numbers. So somebody has to pay that. Doesn't matter who.
That's what Cybertruck told me too. May not be final numbers. Here's your price tag.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. So they pay the 100 Fog, which will burn the Fog, and then they get...
the farm, the LP token that they're requesting get in the arena, gets the ticket.
Yes. People, and then say another token, Law BCH. Somebody says, Kate, we're going to take this LP and buy a ticket for it. So they also burn, and then people can stake their heroes, Fog, other NFTs on which one they want to win. And it'll be a free-for-all. You could have 20, 40. smartBCH grows, and we're all so super excited about the 5,000 tokens on it. All battling.
Smart Baby, Doge, Moon,
X something.
So yeah, essentially all these token pairs will get tossed in the arena. If they have a ticket, once a week they will go into the arena and people can stake all their NFTs and Fog against them. At the end, formula will run and figure out who the winner is based off everything that was done. And the winners of it get a 1 week farm. And right now we're thinking like 5 winners, possibly. Yeah. So we'll have whatever our permanent farms are, anywhere from like 3 to 7-ish. Mm-hmm. And then we'll have 5 arena farms that are cycling out every week. Longer term, Fog might develop into maybe we don't have permanent farms anymore. We just have arena farms.
Yeah.
So for now, we're going to stick with Flex USD BCH,
etc.
Basically, the more bigger, popular stuff.
It's a little bit about distribution, but it's also use case tokens. So it's not going to have, PODA or Lambo or blah, blah, blah that are little meme.
They got NFTs.
It's true, but,
So PODA and Lambo are not going to be our permanent farms.
No. Just heads up, everybody. Moon on the other hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. No.
Yeah, 99% allocation. Yeah. So I'll throw this in there. A longer term goal that we haven't started on or anything. It's
feature creep.
Yeah, feature creep.
It's in the idea bin.
It's in the idea bin, exactly. I would like to be able to get it so that other NFTs could work on Fog. Mm-hmm. So that if you have a Reaper or
Cash Cats or Joybots
or whatever, you would be able to take that NFT and mint it as a Fog NFT is one way to think about it. So it gets a stat and it gets the level and power.
Yeah.
And then it can actually be used in the arena.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't get the boosts.
We could give it the boosts. Yeah. I want to do something with it longer term. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
But essentially it'd be like minting the hero. So it could be the same cost as a Fog hero, potentially. We'll see. That's an idea bin. That's idea bin.
It hasn't been fleshed out. So
but yeah, so just to throw that along the what it would look like stage, I think it'd be kind of cool to have that arena going, and then you have the most powerful heroes of each farm token that have been staked. So it's like, oh look,
a Reaper is on Cats, and Cash Cats is on Joy, and Joybots is on, just because you have one person who's the most powerful hero.
Exactly. And then you could also tie it in with the LNS, so it might actually show the person's .bch address.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to sum all that up, basically there's going to be at minimum
35 contracts.
I was talking more for pre-sale hero kind of thing, because I said soft shell.
Oh, okay.
If you wanted to be in all the farms, because they're not going to be new token unless they're like actually really good tokens kind of thing. Like by the time we launch it, there's some really good projects that are out.
I don't know, a lot of stuff's been happening lately.
Exactly, which we'll go into. But so much more keeps coming out, so it'll kind of be like, yeah, good tokens, and it's not going to be a random new token nobody's heard of kind of thing. So they're going to be things people have, because it's all about getting fog out to people.
Yeah.
But so we're going to have, anywhere from 3 to 7-ish permanent farms and 6 dungeons. So you're going to want at least 10 heroes, but then you haven't even touched the arena for maximum benefit of fog and NFT reward stuff. So
yeah, if you want to max everything out and you have like 5 or 6 pairs that are farming in DEXs right now, yeah, that's going to be like 30, 40, 50 NFTs that you're going to need just to get them going. Mm-hmm. And I don't even think we talked about it, actually. You can take the NFTs and merge them onto... So you can take an NFT, like a sword or a shield, whatever those types of items are, and you can destroy it and add it onto your hero, and it increases the power level of the hero.
Which is how you give your hero power. Yeah. And then to get XP, you have to...
We haven't even talked about that
do
yet.
that in the arena to get XP, because you're battling it out, and... So there's a lot of features we don't want to go into too many details. We're just soft shelling.
But we've been talking about this so much.
We have, yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's... Yeah.
I know, that's because I was like, I don't know what we said in the last one, so...
I think it's fine to go over the FXP.
Oh, well, you just said it right in the middle of my sentence, so...
Yeah. I think it's fine.
It was a really good idea.
It was a good idea. So, what it originally was going to be was that to level up your hero, every time you
did a transaction.
Yeah, claimed from the dungeons or participated in the arena, that would give it some experience. And it would slowly level it up over time. So kind of like after 10 transactions, you might level it up. Mm-hmm. But we kind of switched that so that every time you do those things, you do get experience, but it's not applying it to that hero. Mm-hmm. It's going to give it to you as a token.
Which will be called FXP.
Which will be FXP. So fog experience.
I got overruled on that one. We put it to a vote, and Cheap Lightning...
He pulled through for me.
Yeah, not fair.
So this way you'll be able to essentially farm FXP by using Fog's features, doing the dungeon, doing the arena. And you can stack it all on one hero if you want to level up that hero quickly. Yeah. And that might be your farming hero, so you want to get more fog rewards, so you do that.
And the reason you want to do it on your farming ones is because as you level, it gets better boost, which gives you more fog returning. Which
gives you more chance to get, more fog to apply to the dungeons to get better items.
Yeah. And a random thing of, we're trying to play the balance of the whale game versus the little guy game. So we want the whales to have to work for it a little to get to the top chest, but we don't want the little guys to never be able to get into the chest.
Some of them, yeah.
Whether that be they'd be able to participate in the arena versus the bottom level chests or whatever it may be. So it's kind of a very large spread where whales aren't going to get everything in the first day.
And the people with a very small value, talking like hundreds of dollars at most, they're not going to get in the first chest for a bit. But they will get into it. Yeah. It's not going to take them, 3 months.
And then the arena will also reward people for participating in the arena, not even including just being able to get XP and stuff. So there's other ways to get those things. Yeah. There's a lot of random it's going to be a very big, frequently asked questions.
Oh my, yeah. So this was forked from Zookeeper. Yeah. This is a lot bigger than Zookeeper. Yeah. This was a lot to bite off.
Which was funny because when we were looking at Zookeeper's code, it was like, okay, this is kind of complicated. I don't really understand this part.
At first, yeah.
Yeah. And you read it and you're like, okay, I kind of get this. But then it's like, now you look at it compared to Fog's contracts and it's like, So where's Zoo in this again? Oh, that one line? Okay, yeah. That's from Zoo.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
So, but overall, it's going pretty good. It's just a matter of getting the time to work on it and getting the testing going.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a soft shell.
That was a soft shell.
That was getting some info out.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Anything else you want to say about Fog? We call it Fog because that's the token will be Fog, but the whole thing's called Fog of War.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not really. Just if you want to potentially get into the testnet testing, you could always join the Telegram group. That's about it.
We do have a Telegram group. It is still technically hidden.
I think one person's found it off and told me.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, we have 3 people now, I think.
Something like that.
That's cool.
The fewer people that are in it, the less pressure I have. So
It's true. So join, right? That's what we should be saying. Don't do it. So to do a highlight of it, like a super, super highlight,
okay.
Fog is going to be dual farming, NFT staking, LP battles, time locks, boosting, cooldown, reduction, level up experience, damage, enter, space.
Period.
Yeah.
Actually, I think there's one more thing I want to say.
Oh.
But we'll see if you allow it. So if the audio just skips to something else, she didn't allow it.
Oh. So, let's talk about smartBCH. I didn't allow it.
Wah, wah, wah.
You were supposed to actually get the audio thingy clip for that.
Oh. I can do that next time.
There you go. All right. So.
smartBCH has been busy.
It has been.
It's been a month.
It's been a month. So. I feel like this is a monthly thing.
It's basically
we're not
that right
targeting
now.
anymore, and we're definitely not trying to do a month either. And if it's 2 months, is what it is. This is just us rambling to each other.
Mm-hmm. So we just need to stick a microphone upstairs by our computers, and then we have all the stuff along with a bunch of screaming kids.
I was going to say screaming kids, dogs click, clack, and the cat going, meow, let me the fuck out this door.
So smartBCH, been busy. Mm-hmm. This is the biggest one.
In whose terms?
Everybody's terms.
Okay.
Bitcoin.com launched Verse.
What is Verse?
What is Verse? Verse is a little unknown. It's a DEX.
It's not unknown. Everybody knows.
The specifics are kind of unknown.
Not really.
The general stuff is known. It was unknown for a while.
Well,
about what it
hype.
was. They were building hype. So it's a multi-chain DEX.
Yes.
Which sounds like it's just going to be separate DEXs on different chains.
Yeah. And not as exciting as what I thought it was going to be.
No, it's definitely not a Thorchain style thing.
But they are talking to Thorchain for Thorchain stuff.
So it is different DEXs. They have their Verse token. They're probably going to have some bridges between the different networks. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to swap the token between chains that way.
Yeah.
They launched their DEX on smartBCH.
Mm-hmm. In a beta.
In a beta state. Not much liquidity on it. There's no farms, I believe. It's just liquidity right now.
Yeah. Just for 2 BCH Flex USD and BCH Flex.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite obvious they're working with CoinFlex, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
So Verse is going to be, the Verse token is going to be integrated into the bitcoin.com mobile wallet. Mm-hmm. And it is also going to be a crypto.com style credit card.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to load crypto onto the card, most likely, and be able to spend it at any place except MasterCard, Visa, etc. You'll get the Verse token for using it.
And they're going to do farms.
Mm-hmm.
You'll earn Verse, yada, yada, yada. Typical DEX stuff. It's like a mixture of a Uniswap and Sushi Swap style. Because Uniswap doesn't have farms on it itself. Or it has like its main 3 or something. Uniswap's all about the fees.
It was kind of... It got super gigantic because it was like the first. Mm-hmm. So it has a lot of fees.
And then everybody built token stuff.
Yeah,
farms against it.
Yeah, I see people say that Uniswap doesn't have fees. Or it doesn't have farms, sorry. And it's all the fees. That is where they earn the money. It's like, there's farms for Uniswap. Yeah. You can put your LP tokens in places and get farms. So
But yeah, so Verse will have farms. It'll have I find it really interesting just thinking from a large company point of view running a DEX. And if they have the credit card and they're going to do the bridging and the cross chain and yada, 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 but they're going to have all these fees generated. So if you're staking Verse, you're obviously probably going to get a cut of those fees. So if you just look at that as a credit card point of view, Verse stakeholders could really earn a lot.
Potentially, yeah. It depends. That's what I mean. It's the specifics are a little murky. They don't have the nitty-gritty details out yet. So
yeah, but it's cool.
It's cool. It's bitcoin.com, so there's a lot behind it.
Yeah.
Getting access to the bitcoin.com mobile wallet is like millions of users right there potentially. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So their token sale is, so you can go on their website and see their tokenomics and how it's distributed and stuff like that. It's the typical, their team gets 15% or whatever and all this other stuff. So nothing special or exciting there. The token sale A, which is the first one, is going to be on Ethereum, which is kind of disappointing, but is what it is.
But you also need to be on their contact list for that.
Oh, so the whitelisting or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's typical Ethereum. That's where all the money is right now, so it makes sense. Token sale B is public, I think you said?
Yeah.
And that one, I didn't see any info about it, and I'm sure it's just a rumor, but I saw something about smartBCH being part of that. So that would be cool. I think it would be cool versus doing this as like our Bitcoin.com is trying to get the money into it and then expose them to low fee chains like smartBCH.
Well, that's kind of what
get the exposure out there.
They're doing the Ethereum one, but the rest are all low fees. That's what they're targeting. So
you're going to be looking at like Polygon and
Avalanche and
Solana.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like that a big company's actually trying to... We have way too many fucking DEXs.
So let's have some more.
Yeah. But this is a big company DEX that it's like, it's going to succeed just because of the name brand.
Maybe. No guarantee.
No guarantee, but...
It's more the whole ecosystem that makes it exciting to me. So you got the credit card side and all that involved with it. So
yeah, it's not just a DEX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened.
That wasn't too long ago.
No. Besides that,
let's keep talking about DEXs.
Okay.
CoinFu launched.
So what, the day after?
Day before.
Oh, the day before Verse. Okay.
Or a couple hours before, something like that. Day before, I think. Yeah.
So
but it's not like okay. So Verse, it was the day before it launched, but everybody knew Verse was a DEX that was coming to smartBCH already.
True.
So
everybody knew CoinFu was a DEX that might have been coming to smartBCH
soon.
So it's out. It's a Uniswap fork, and it has no farming.
Okay, so no, that's not true.
Currently, it is.
Okay, so I have no ties to BCH people, and I don't necessarily like any of them. I mean, some of them I do, but I don't. I'm not a BCHer like you. Okay, I'm not in the club. So therefore,
I don't know. You're pretty in the club compared to me in some areas.
Well, that's because you sit in the basement
coding.
Yeah, loser.
Yeah,
and you don't have many monitors down here. But anyway, my point being, I don't understand what. Okay, no, sorry. My point is, I don't care if I hurt people's feelings because I'm not a people pleaser. So my point of that goes into, I don't understand what the fudge he is doing. He being
Esteban
CoinFu dev.
Yep.
Because his whole thing when he, 8 months ago, you get funding and shit, and then you go, here's an update every, if you look in his announcement telegram, it was 6 months ago he posted last. And then all of a sudden, hey, we've launched. It's where the fuck were the updates?
Yep.
I can rage because I allowed you to put money in his Flipstarter about this. Just saying. Okay.
I see.
But then it's okay, you're doing a Flipstarter, which is great. You want to get a DEX, which is great. Whether you're learning or not, whatever. That makes no difference. But no update sucks. Okay, cool. Then everything's just soon. Okay, cool. But then you're okay, we're not going to have farms. We're just going to have fees. Well, that doesn't...
Because that's what Uniswap did.
Because that's what Uniswap did, and Uniswap doesn't have farms, which it does. It's just not directly with Uniswap. But also, if you're launching a DEX after 10 other DEXs have launched and you just want to do it on fees, why is anybody going to use your DEX?
Nobody will.
Because how much money are they going to make?
None.
Exactly. So then further to that, he's like, hey, Verse is launched and Verse is doing X. Verse has a fixed...
the coin supply.
Exactly. So Verse has a fixed token supply of 210 billion, I think. And CoinFu had a fixed supply of 10 billion. And then they saw CoinFu had 210. Verse had 210. So now CoinFu has 210. And then Verse announced they were doing farms. So now CoinFu is doing farms.
Maybe. But yes, that's what he said.
Like, holy fuck, be your own person. Daddy doesn't need to give you permission for everything. Okay, that is my rage.
Okay. I kind of agree. Like, things like your tokenomics and whether you're having farms or not on a DEX should be
decided beforehand.
Way beforehand, not because Bitcoin.com releases a DEX.
That's the same shit. Yeah. Like, it's all both Uniswap forks, but just because they're doing something, and his whole thing is about, governments and legal and taxes, and it's like...
Because Bitcoin.com is doing a DEX with farms, therefore it's legal.
Yeah.
So they've resolved all the legal issues, so now it's okay for CoinFu to do it.
Yeah.
That's how for him, it's all about the legal side of it.
Which, I mean, it makes him sleep at night, that's fine, but a decentralized exchange is not meant to be a centralized exchange that needs government regulations.
But his argument is that it doesn't matter if you're not gonna be legal, they're gonna find you at some point, and it's not gonna matter then. So you may as well follow the law.
Which is, yeah, okay. And if that's what he wants to do, that's totally fine. But if you're gonna release your DEX, because he releases DEX, his DEX is up, it's running. But now everything he's saying is, we can learn from Verse. We can learn from Verse. It's like, okay, well then why is your DEX running?
Pretty much. That's kind of the problem, is that there's no reason to use CoinFu.
Yeah.
It's running right now. You can go to coinfu.com. Mm-hmm. KOINGFU.
FU is right.
.com. And it's there. But why is anybody going to put money into it?
Yeah.
Like part of it is just the features. People want things that are useful, regardless of legality in crypto space.
Yeah.
Like, DEXs are getting more popular all the time. And some of them have got so popular that they're starting to rival centralized exchanges. Mm-hmm. So some of those DEXs are not known people. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to keep getting bigger. So his argument is that those DEXs will eventually die because the government's going to go after them.
Yeah.
Or somehow regulate them if they can find whoever's involved.
Yeah.
So I don't see why, I don't know. Besides that, the fundamental of not having farms just seems bonkers to me.
Well, at this point it does. Early on in the game, it was like, okay, fine. If there's no farms, you're the only thing to use, great.
In Uni's case, yeah.
Yeah. But even if it was on smartBCH, he was the first flip starter for a DEX, if he would have launched as the first DEX,
he would have been gigantic.
It would have made sense because everybody would have used you because you're the first. But now we have too many DEXs. so many DEXs that people started forgetting about DEXs that still have liquidity on it.
Oh, yeah.
Like CowSwap. And Smart DEX, which is like a rug or a not a rug or some sort of rug.
I removed that one from Help Me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I just can't, I personally can't see how CoinFu will do good at this point. So their whole thing is they're going to have a DEX on every chain.
Okay, so that's one thing we haven't talked about. So we've ranted a little bit, but he's been working on a bridge between different networks.
Yeah.
So he said that the solution he has is actually better than what Bitcoin.com has for Verse.
Bitcoin.com's is, we're just going to have a DEX on every NFT token and we'll allow you to exchange it somehow between the two, not known, but his is like, you can actually go between.
I don't know how it works, but he says it's better. I think he said it was better because Bitcoin.com was just using SideShift. But I don't know what Bitcoin.com is doing specifically.
Yeah, that's where they were talking about the Thorchain thing.
Yeah, they do have SideShift integration. They also had a couple others, I think, when I looked at it. Mm-hmm. Some random ones I hadn't heard of and stuff that allows you to swap between and get access to other exchanges. So, yeah, I don't know the specifics on that. In theory, that's why S1's been taking so long with CoinFu, is he was learning and doing bridge stuff on other things, and now CoinFu is going to be more integrated into other networks, so we'll see what happens.
So my biggest question is, a company like Bitcoin.com that has ties with Bitcoin and Ethereum and BCH can easily spread to other chains because it has so many users that are already going to use all those chains. So my next question would be, what ties does Esteban have? to other chains.
I don't really think that's fair.
But if he's got no community in them, then he's going to just be a random DEX that launches all of a sudden.
Right, but just because you're a big company doesn't mean you have... Doesn't mean other competing products or people shouldn't compete with you.
Oh, no, they should totally compete. But I'm just saying that Bitcoin.com is going to have an easy time to gain users because they have the name brand behind them.
It depends what circle you're in.
That's true. That's true.
Some circles, the name Bitcoin.com is going to be very bad.
That's true. That's true.
But yes, they do have a very big user base, so anything they do should potentially kick off quite easily. Mm-hmm. But they still need a good product.
Yes.
If they don't have a good product, it's just going to burn or crash and burn. So, which said, the quick glance at Verse, it seemed fun.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how CoinFu does the multi-chain thing.
I am interested to see exactly what he has in plan.
Yeah. And he says he's working on other products, not just the bridge, but there's other things as well.
Yeah.
So...
He did make the contract verifier as well during that whole thing.
And that's I have nothing against Esteban himself. I mean, technically, it could be a herself too. You never know.
You assume gender there?
It could be it, they, who, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Element OP. And like, yeah, they, he, it. You're going to fuck me up with that one now. Esteban has been doing a lot of things behind the scenes and building things. So I have nothing against Esteban for that.
Reptilian AI.
Yes.
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 Yeah, my issue is just the no farm thing for a DEX just seems backwards to me. So there's more disagreements I have with them, I think. Mm-hmm. But I'm interested to see what will work with it, and what will and won't work, and if it'll succeed or not. Based off what I've seen, I don't think it's going to.
Yeah.
But that depends on the bridges, I think, exactly what he's going to do there.
I think there could be some people that go into it just because of the name as well.
Possibly,
for like the smartBCH circle.
Mm-hmm. Your clique that you don't like?
Yep.
So, do you have anything else about CoinFu?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, well, technically.
Go ahead.
No, but it goes into the next one.
Okay. So, to roll along with that a little bit, and not to pick them out specifically, but Ember Swap.
Yep.
So, this isn't them specifically, but it's just the latest one I can remember that kind of bugs me. They have a fixed issuance or fixed supply for their token.
So does CoinFu and so does Verse.
CoinFu and Verse, I know.
Which is what I was going to mention too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just I've been reading Ember Swap's Telegram the last like week or something because they got governance working. Mm-hmm. So this has been a topic that they've been talking about, or at least issuance has been. So I don't understand how a DEX works with a fixed supply token, because the answer from them and others like Sushi has been, when we run out of tokens, we'll just make a new token.
Yeah. And we'll give then for Ember's case, they run out of tokens and Ember becomes the governance token. That's the purpose for it.
Right.
And then the new tokens are reward tokens, and we give it another function. It's like, well, why not just have a inflationary supply and give it even more functions?
Yeah. Why have two tokens? I don't really get the reasoning behind it. And I guess this would play into Esteban's whole why have a reward farm. So CoinFu is a limited supply token, mm-hmm. and it was supposed to be, I guess, governance. Mm-hmm. And you buy it to farm with it, potentially, depending if he has farms.
Yeah.
But it's not the reward token.
I don't understand how his DEX is going to work at all.
Yeah.
So for Verse, it's a fixed supply, and it will be the reward token. For Ember, it's a fixed supply, it's governance, and it is the reward token.
Right. But in Ember's case, they've changed the issuance, I think, so it doesn't apply anymore. But I think originally it was going to end in about 9 years.
10.
10 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 10 years, there would be no more Ember.
Yeah.
No more supply. So in theory, if they didn't change anything, all of the farms would just lose their Ember, and you wouldn't get Ember anymore, and then you're down to only the LP fees for your reward, which means everybody leaves the DEX because it's not generating money for them anymore, basically.
I mean, if it's big...
If it's big enough, in case of like a Uniswap style, like a gigantic DEX is taken over smartBCH mostly, it's like, okay, you can get some fees still, but I mean, there's going to be other options.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't really...
Fixed supply tokens is a big question mark. For DEXs.
For a DEX, yes. In other cases, no. But for a DEX, it's like The whole point is to draw liquidity so that people can trade. You want very deep liquidity for tokens, so you want to draw people in. So you give them a reward token, and you add features on that reward token.
To give it value.
Yeah. MistSwap has their governance. So you can stake MIST for XMIST. You can do governance, which is basic.
Yeah.
But then if you're staking XMIST, you also get the fees from the DEX, which is usually not unusual. But then also like LNS.
And the bridge.
And the bridge fees.
And
they all feed into it as well.
And
so Kasumi's trying to build it so that you want to stake the MIST instead of sell it because you generate a decent return on it because all these services are plugging into it and feeding it to the holders. So,
or you can also farm with it, which is providing liquidity. So you can farm BCH and earn more MIST.
Yeah, they can all do that. So it's like, why would MIST limit the supply of the MIST token and then have to make a new token later?
And then now try and find features to give both of them value.
Yeah, like why not just keep going like MIST does and just add features? Why? So in Ember's case, it's like, okay, in 9 years, maybe less now, Ember stops. It's 9 years away, whatever.
It's so long.
It's so long, it doesn't matter. But it's like when I'm looking at tokens, I look at the actual functions and like fundamentals long term. So when I see that 9-10 year, right, when I see that 10-year ending, to me, it's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
It's going to explode at some point unless something happens.
Yeah.
Not in the upward direction.
Yeah.
So in their case, it's like, okay, Ember will stop and we'll just do a different token. Well, you're basically an inflationary token then. Because you're just stopping rewards for one token and creating them on another. So the token issuance never stopped.
Yeah.
You've just changed the name. So I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. And that's CoinFu is all about. It's a fixed supply. So we're better than other DEXs in that way. And it's like, but what happens when you run out? And nobody releases their white paper with, this is what happens when our supply runs out.
That's true.
It's like just this big hidden, like, okay. And people are meant to think, oh, because it's a limited supply, that means my token is worth more. That's the whole thing about limited supply.
Yeah. It ticks that box in people's head about, oh, it's valuable because there's only so many of them.
Yeah. But then it's just like, are you just trying to play and maybe it is, the mind game? Because Esteban also said he changed his total token supply from 10 billion to 210 billion because people like smaller numbers. So if it's 0.0000001 to buy a token instead of 0.001, people are going to throw more money at it.
It's the same reason Doge was created the way it was, and all the other tokens like that is, people like seeing that big number. They like having 1 million of something rather than 0.05.
Yeah, because it's easy to say, well, if it only goes to $1's not much.
Yeah. They're like, was it Shiba, I think? Or whatever Shiba derivative coin.
Girlfriend one.
Maybe Shiba's girlfriend. I don't know.
Doge's
some random
girlfriend.
coin where it's like $1 club.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it actually went to $1, that's more money than it's ever existed in the world of history of humanity.
Yeah.
Like, there's not that much money in the world.
Exactly.
But everybody likes that.
$1's not much. So
$1's not much.
Yeah.
And people are just bad at big numbers.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. It's kind of like if Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has a supply that's releasing.
Yeah.
And it's going down every 4 years. And the miners are using that. And they're using that to provide for the network. But it's going down. So either the miners are going to stop getting paid, or the fees take up and start paying for the reward for miners. It's almost like a DEX is the reward token. For it to sustain itself would have to become big enough, like Uniswap or some of these gigantic DEXs, that just the trading fees alone are enough to sustain the liquidity in it. I just don't see that happening for like 99% of the DEXs everywhere. Like, not smartBCH specific, but like for that to happen, even if smartBCH keeps growing, it's like every single DEX is going to die except one. Yeah. So I don't see that model working.
No.
The reward token has to be there, I think.
Yeah. And it has to give value for people to want to buy. So it goes up in value. So there's an APR.
Yeah.
It's a whole cycle.
Okay. Random rant with no real point. Done.
All right. So What else? What else is in the world of
We mentioned that Joy was mooning.
I think Joy is mooning because of all their verse shilling.
Probably. I haven't really seen any fundamental new news out of them.
No.
Their NFTs are still, I think we went into it in our last episode or something.
They were a complete standstill.
Pretty much at a standstill. I think they've minted just over 800 as of now, out of 10,000.
Yeah, so a month ago, I think they were at 300.
So not much change. So yeah, basically it's just there was a very large, which I think was only like 5 or 6 people, honestly, but a lot of Joy talk in the Verse Telegram group. And a few days later, they've gone up like 150% or 200% or something. So
it was like 150 yesterday. Now it's like 230 or something. Yeah.
Which Joy itself is still a small token.
Yeah.
Even on smartBCH. Well, I guess on smartBCH it's like top 10 now or something.
Yeah. It's going to get like the number 3 spot for Mist Farm in 6 days. If
maybe
everybody else doesn't wash trade to shit.
Yeah. However, Joy was one of the top 10 tokens on CoinGecko. For like the trending or highest volume or top gainers.
Yeah.
So it was actually nice to see a smartBCH token on CoinGecko, one of the top lists.
Yeah. Just gets a little bit more eyes too.
Yeah.
I know I've looked every once in a while, but it's like, what's a new token that's popping off?
Besides them, there's been a more random NFT projects popping up. None of them have been very interesting to me. However, BCH Towns
I'm
looks
interested
kind
in
of
that
cool.
one.
There's not much information out in terms of specifics and artwork or anything. There's a little bit.
No.
He's been doing lots of AMAs.
Exactly, and you're not listening to them.
True.
It sounds like there's a lot of information in those.
There is a lot of information. So
there's a lot of information out.
Have you listened to them?
No, I have screaming children all day. I just read the telegrams.
Okay, so we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yes.
So I do know that it's going to be some sort of little NFT game. They have a Towns token.
Which is April.
It's on the 10th, so it's in like 3 days. It's going to launch. So you'll get the Towns token, and they're doing like a phased approach, so it's not all releasing in one day. Like the whole game, it's going to be parts of it.
Yeah.
But essentially, you'll take your Towns token, you'll be able to buy villagers or buildings or something like that.
You'll be able to do villagers and buildings.
And I think you have to like assign a villager to a building or something like that, and it'll start generating resources for you.
Yeah, and you have to upgrade town tokens and
upgrade the buildings. So it's kind of like one of those, I guess Clash of Clans is a really popular one where you like can place buildings to generate resources and things like that.
Don't know if that's what it's like.
But it's not like that.
Compares it to like he says taverns or something. I can't remember what.
I think it was like Tavarian or something like
that.
Yeah. I glanced at it. It's the same type of idea where it's like you have a town on the screen and you can purchase buildings, which will like give you lumber and stone and stuff like that. And they use those to upgrade buildings and buy troops and stuff.
It'd be kind of cool to have like the guild game. The guild 2 thingy 1-3, yeah.
Yeah.
Resource building.
So I don't actually know if I'm assuming this is just a web-based game, or is this actually like a 2D, 3D game?
I think this one was supposed to be 3D.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this one I'm interested in. I've been saying I want more games.
Yeah.
This is...
I'll be staying up for that launch. I hope it's not at a bad time for us, but probably will be.
Yeah.
And they're not as annoying. Like, he seems really good about, like, he's jumping in, ask me anythings, and people ask him questions, and he tries to give an answer, and he's like, hey, I'll do that in my ask me anything, and write it up on readme.cash, and blah, blah, blah.
He's done, like, 3 or 4 voice ask me anythings in Telegram so far.
And he did another one today.
Yeah, and a Twitter space or something.
Yeah.
So he's definitely been open.
Yeah. And there's multi-team members in it. But then there's another NFT game...
Kind of?
Ish. So BCH Towns will also have like staking and yield farming, and they want to launch their own DEX. Another DEX.
Right. So BCH Towns, when they start, you're going to be able to stake BCH on it.
Yeah.
To get Towns tokens.
Yeah.
That'll only last for 1 month, I believe.
I thought it was a week.
It'll last for some small amount of time.
Maybe it's a month.
So you can check their website and their Telegram group, but they're going to have 3 different ways to get Towns tokens. Staking BCH, staking LP, and another one, I think, maybe Towns itself. But it's bchtowns.com. My only criticism of the site was that their font in parts of it is all...
It was all. awful.
It's all stylized and kind of hard to read.
It's a beautiful font for titles.
For
really
titles,
big
it's great.
words.
Yeah, but for like everything,
Yeah. So, the other one that was launching, potentially.
BCH Gang.
Which is also a NFT game yield farming staking something.
Who the hell makes those things? Jeez.
I don't know.
So lame.
They're
So unimaginative.
Right? And I don't fully know if this one's going to, like it says it's a one-stop shop for all your gaming stuff, but I don't fully understand what it means. And it's not very specific.
I don't really know anything about them. I just know they seem extremely shilly.
They seem like a classic rug.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it plays out, but I'm not
touching that one. I'm watching it.
I'm watching it.
But I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah.
Because with how much shill, like they say things about like, let's go shill guys and who wants to join me in the shill, but then they delete their comments, which just seems sussy to me. But then they shill, and then a little bit later they shill again, and their message is literally back to back, and they're shilling in all groups.
So in other words, they're just spamming.
So they're spam shilling. And I vow not to do that with Fog. I'm not going to tolerate that shit.
Nope. Side note, Telegram etiquette. It really bugs me when people go into other groups and start spamming their stuff, like advertising it. Like going into Reapers and just like randomly shilling your own random
NFT.
So, World of Masks or whatever it is. That's one I will call out, where it's like they would just randomly go out and post it everywhere.
Yeah.
And they do it multiple times in every group. Yeah. Unsolicited, just random big paragraphs and paragraphs of messages. Like that is just rude. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was another one that did it in Reapers, and at least Jay called them out, and they're like, "Get no," which I really did. I was like, good, because shit's getting annoying. But it's like, there's a token chat. Go shill your shit there. Don't
just
go
not
into
back to back.
Yeah, exactly. If I can scroll up 2 messages and still see your message, it's like, okay, let people talk for a little while. But yeah, that's one thing that definitely, whether it's NFT projects or it's other actual, like if you're not related to that project or it's not a free-for-all chat space, like don't be, you know.
One of the DEXs is shilling their stuff in other DEX chats. It's like, it's kind of crossing the line a little bit depending on the message.
Yeah. But there's certain things that it's like, it might be okay where it's like it benefits all of smartBCH.
That's where, it's kind of depends on the situation. So,
or another thing that really drives me bonkers is the wall Texas.
Oh, you gotta scroll wheel 6 times before you pass the message.
And I'm gonna say tropical. I literally just want to mute those guys because it's like, 5 pages worth of thingy, and then refer and tag and at and share our thing 3 times, and then you get a NFT drop to you. It's like, okay, guys, now 6 different people are sending it in the same chat.
Yeah, we're not doing any of that stuff with Fog.
No.
Our marketing is going to be very subpar compared to most people probably, but
this is our marketing right here. This is all we're doing, guys.
Destined for failure.
We did have some really cool idea bins for marketing.
We have some decent ideas. Honestly, if we don't get a lot of users, I'll be okay with that because the more we talk about it, the more I want to get these heroes and stuff.
I know.
It's like, we're doing a pre-sale. How many am I buying? Because I want them.
But I was like, maybe I should sell these NFTs so I can buy more of our hero NFTs because I need to use them. Yeah.
So you're going to take your money and give it to us. Which doesn't really fund the project, but
no, I
kind of want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of weird.
Which is the hard thing because it's like between you and me, we're probably going to have, 1% of the heroes.
We'll see.
Idea bin for marketing is we do have some things for Fog, which are really cool and not just go chill.
Oh, that stuff, yes.
Yeah, which we were talking about today and kind of went on a
tangent
of it on our drive, and it was actually really kind of like, that could be really fun, and we should do it that way, and get it going good. GGG. That's gonna be one of the Easter eggs right there. What does GGG mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
Nobody will get it.
Nope.
So BCH chains, I don't like the spamminess. But it's another NFT stylized gamey thing, so you could go look at it. carrying on unless you had something specific.
Nope.
Pixes or Pix. I don't remember the specific name of it, but it's another...
Pixelized.
It's an NFT game thing. Sticking on the same topic.
Well, Pix just means like pixelized to me. I see that and I think pixelized.
Yeah. I don't remember what it's called, so people might not know what I'm talking about. But it's an actual 2D game, so it almost looks like it's like RPG Maker or something. If people are familiar with that. So it's, if not, then think like Zelda, Link to the Past, like Super Nintendo. Aging myself, I'm sure, but so you can get NFTs for that one, and they are characters in the game. I think they are still available. I think they were doing 2,400. Yeah, 2,400 NFTs, and I think they had like 300 or 400 left or something.
So they're already doing their minting?
Oh yeah, minting's already. So they tried minting and they had a problem, I think, and this was like a month or two ago. I don't remember when exactly.
Oh, so these are just old notes.
These are old notes I put in. So they had a problem minting, they had to stop it, and then they started again, and it's something they worked through. They partnered with Ben, and they airdropped some of their tokens on Ben's little candy shop or whatever it's called. I think you had to hold the eBen for that.
Oh.
So if you have eBen, you can go to the candy shop and see if you have these Pix tokens.
So Ben got, what, 80%?
Probably. But yeah, they're doing an actual 2D game, and it's kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but it's an actual playable game, supposedly.
Nice. I don't think I've seen this one, to be honest.
I bought one of them, and you were there.
Oh.
It's like the anime character looking pictures thingies, and it's got like weird like wrapping around the corners of the square, almost like it's a trading card style thing or something. I don't know.
This is not ringing a bell. That goes to show how much I pay attention to your screens.
So yeah, there is another NFT style game thing going on.
It's kind of
Went into some Simlish there.
It's exciting seeing so many new projects coming for smartBCH.
Yes.
That actually have uses and not just, here's a token, here's a picture. They're not links.
Buy it and go away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a number of different things, like Cash is another one where I like the art of it. It was kind of like, it's unique. It's original art, I think. Mm-hmm. That one is like, they were late on launching, which is fine. They were originally supposed to be like early this year.
Okay.
So they were late, which is fine. They got their stuff out. They were doing a pre-sale on BCH Pad.
Yeah.
For their tokens.
Mm-hmm.
And
which failed.
Which failed, which means nobody got the tokens.
Yeah.
But they launched the NFT cards anyways, so you can buy them right now with Kaiju tokens, but
the liquidity
on MistSwap is like 0. There's like super little.
Yeah.
It's like 0.1% or something.
Yeah. Of
what the dev holds. And so you have to pay quite a bit to get tokens to buy one of these things. But I'm guessing like 1 or 2 guys doing this. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to see projects starting, and it seems like us, we're learning this stuff, and it's like people are paying attention because there's not a lot around right now.
Yeah.
So anything that is even semi-competent or decent starts getting eyes and attention and adoption. So it's kind of nice to see like the ecosystem hasn't been taken over by some really amazing project that like owns everything now because it's so professional.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like
little
potentially hidden gems
shop type things.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not gonna last. It's gonna go away, but it's kind of cool to see the development of the community.
Mm-hmm. I was kind of excited for Kaishu's little. It was kind of just a random little saw pull request for it, and it's like, what's that? Okay, there's a website. Watch and wait. And I was sad that the BCH pad didn't get funded, so he's privately doxxed. Yeah. But it failed, and then he went to the hospital.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. So a few days ago, it's like sales launched.
Sales done.
Or the sale failed, but the NFTs have launched.
Yeah.
You can buy them. Nobody has the tokens, so you can't really buy them. I think there's 100 up right now, and 13 have been bought. And that was like, it's been up for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I actually think they might have another 100 that were supposed to be launched or something. But then it's like, okay, guys, it's up. By the way, I'm going to the hospital for a week or something.
Yeah.
Like, bye.
And it's like, but what happens to what? No tokens? Like,
so it's just funny to see it because it's like, it's totally unprofessional.
yeah.
But it's probably just kind of a side project that somebody's working on. And, you know, hospital thing, you know, it's hopefully he's fine or they're fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And being that they're privately doxed with BCH pad, it's like, I mean, I don't think you're going to rug that quickly unless you gave fake ID and you're not really worried about it. I don't know how.
Well, that's the funny part, though, is that if it can't really be a rug because
there's nothing to rug.
There's nothing to rug. Yeah. Like, people don't have the tokens.
But part of me is like, maybe he didn't realize it failed because, so one gripe.
No, I'm pretty sure he realized it failed because he was talking in the Telegram about it.
Okay. Well, was he talking that it failed?
I think so.
Because he was saying you can now buy the cards with your kaiju tokens.
You can.
People are like, well, how do we get kaiju tokens?
You technically can. It's just you're going to be paying like
$1.50.
Kidneys and appendages by buying the tokens on Mist. So
one gripe I have about BCH Pad.
Okay.
So I did the pre-sale for kaiju, and it failed. But then it says you have kaiju tokens to claim.
Right.
And so I was like, but it didn't reach soft cap. What the fuck? And then it's like, do it, yada. It's like, oh, no, you get your BCH back. But it tells you you're claiming kaiju or whatever token it is. So that's very, very confusing.
Yeah, just a little text thing on the button. But yeah something like that you think would have been caught during testing.
Yeah. Or with how many projects have launched already, you know, you'd kind of think.
Have there been many failures on BCH Pad?
I don't know. Probably not. BCH Pad also accidentally leaked.
Right.
Which is kind of a huge smartBCH thing.
I forgot about that. It's on Help Me. So, Tropical, actually. I believe it was the Tropical devs. So they got in a disagreement or something. I didn't follow the drama really. But yeah, BCH Pad.
So it was kind of roughly like people are whining because one guy's a total twat monkey.
Oh, on Tropical side.
On Tropical side. And people don't like him. So BCH Pad dev.
I think it's Dobardum for Tropical.
Yeah, that's who got leaked.
So BCH Pad, I believe, the Telegram chat was leaked.
No, I want the juicy stuff first.
Okay.
So he suggested to Tropical to remove...
Dobardum.
I don't like that name. It's weird to say.
Name it. Big D.
So they suggested to remove Big D from the team and tell the public and their holders that they removed him, and then hire a new person to replace him that's secretly Big D.
Big B.
Big B. It would be his name backwards. Which is just like super shady on BCH Pads.
It is extremely shady.
Like, you're literally telling another project, fire your guy and then just hire him in secret.
And lie to the public about it.
Like, what? You're all about... Fuck off, security. That's what we're talking about, security here. There we go.
He has a word to say about it, apparently.
Yeah. So he's all about, I'm not doxed, but I'm going to dox you. There's a lot of things I don't like about BCH Pad, gotta be honest, but...
Anybody who's listening to our podcast knows.
That's true. I have a lot of things I don't like about a lot of things. I'm not a likable person. I realize this more and more every year. But so he's all about, we dox you so that you're not going to rug, yada, yada, yada. But then you tell them to lie about the team that you're supposed to have all doxed. It just, super shady. But then everybody was like, oh my God, he's rugging because he's draining Tropical funds.
The Dobardum guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's rugging. So BCH Pad leaked their chat, which had all his government ID, selfie.
Yeah, selfie, driver's license. Yeah, that's gigantic. Like, that's not a
whoops, my bad. That's a do not use this service if you value your privacy. Yeah. Though if you're doxing, you probably don't really value.
You might not care really. So, but.
I definitely see, I've seen people why don't you, they ask BCH Towns, why don't you use BCH Pad to do your token launch? And all I can think was, why would you want to?
Pretty much. We're not doing it.
Well, I mean, we're not launching a token. Our token's going to be a mission. You have to farm to get it.
It's true. My statement stands. Like, I don't know if BCH Pad does NFT stuff. Probably not. But
I'd really
yeah,
like to use Oasis. I'm going to harass Jay to make sure we can use Oasis. I'll like try and find some Stellaris facts or something and start like spamming him with it. So how much BCH is locked up? Do you have anything else to say about that?
Not really. There is, like, I think I've said this before, if there's somebody that wants to do a identity verification service, there is room for a good one.
Yeah, there is. But like, do it right. Like, if you're going to do it, either be a trustable person or use a service that doesn't allow you to leak it like a Telegram chat.
Yeah.
I prefer anonymous shit.
Pretty much.
I don't care about doxing.
Well. It's like, if it comes out, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't really matter. But for a service like that, it seems a lot of alarm bells ring when the owner of it doesn't dox. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah,
and you spiel about how important doxing is.
But then it's kind of hard because it's like, well, if he's doxed, people could go after him because they'll know who it is to get all the details and leak it out. Like, it's.
But at the same time, he's controlling a lot of funds, so he could rug anytime.
It's true.
Because you got to send your money.
Well, I think they're locked up or something, but they might be under his control. I don't know the specifics on it.
I don't know. He keeps doing weird shit, like telling. What was the latest one? Was it Tropical? I think it was Tropical's chat where it's like, before Tropical went with them, they're like, we need our tokens. We won't do launch with you if we can't have our tokens to provide for our liquidity. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. But then during the pre-sale, he's like, so I'm going to take your tokens and I'll put them in liquidity because this other thing allowed me to do it. So I'm going to do it with yours now. Yeah. And it's like, you're going against your agreement you already made.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a CST thing where he wanted the funds to do his project, but BCH Pad wanted him to lock them up instead.
Yeah. It's like, you're not there to make tokenomics. You're there to collect funds and identities. And that's it. You're just a place for people to trade shit.
So there you go. Make an identity service so you can trade shit and collect identities.
Yes.
There's lots of other there's been drama in a few other tokens and NFT things. Nothing I've super kept up on.
There was lots of cane drama, which was really cool.
Oh.
Between mis-rugging and law rugging, and I don't know. People got pretty mad at Kane there for buying and selling tokens.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, nothing super specific.
No.
Yeah, so anything in BCH land? Not really. We're fully in smartBCH. So.
Can I talk about Oasis for a second?
Yeah.
Can I shill Oasis for a second?
For it.
Okay. Oasis added feature sorting on their NFT marketplace.
Okay.
Which is really, really handy when you're looking at kids. You can be like, hey, I want all the BCH cloaks. And then just look at all them. But then now they've added the previous sale price history, which is super cool because you can see those people who buy it, because I've seen it a lot in Reapers. This one person buys one for cheap and then puts it up
right away.
Yeah, for a double, triple, and it's like, oh my god, look how cheap. It's like, dude, you just bought it. Yeah, it's just funny to see the flipping.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say. BCH news.
I saw that Cash Stack was released, which is documentation for new BCH developers. I just saw it today. So it's just random information for walkthroughs and stuff. And
Cool.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
I haven't been keeping up on BCH itself.
No, I have a funny thing I saw on Twitter.
Okay.
So Bitcoin, BTC Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not Bitcoin Cash. Yeah. Okay. Just their whole meetup thing they do. Mm-hmm. What are those called? Conferences?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so they had one that's going on like right now.
Mark Falzone is at that, actually.
No, he's at the Monero one. I mean, it might all be the same shit, but he's at the Monero one.
Okay.
Monero is also pumping. Side fact.
No, I think Mark's at the Bitcoin one because he did a Telegram chat that said that one guy was sitting beside him.
I thought he was in the same hotel as somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same one.
I saw that on Twitter. I think it was on Twitter. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember that guy's name and I can't. It's he used to be Blockstream's chief strategic officer or something, in charge of shilling.
I just saw somebody tell Mark to prank him. Leave things on his doors or something. I don't know. But the Bitcoin one, whether it's the same with Monero all in it, I don't know. Mm-hmm. People were complaining because you couldn't purchase anything.
With Bitcoin?
With Bitcoin or on Lightning.
Oh, nice.
You couldn't use...
Surprise, surprise. It's only like how many years that it's been like this?
What? You can't... You go to a Bitcoin conference and you can't use Lightning feature, the low fee,
you have to use
yada,
your
yada, yada.
cash and credit cards.
Exactly. Just to buy a drink.
Yeah.
Like, come on. What?
I mean... Take some gold and get some shavings off. Like that's how you do things.
You just tap it against the thingy and be like, there you go. You know? I saw that and I was like, that's a really bad.
I think it was like 2018 when that
was so long ago.
I know, but that was like a year after the fork. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, Bitcoin conference. You have to buy all your tickets in cash. Haha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I vaguely remember it. It was like 2014 or something, 15. It was like that as well. Mm-hmm. And then it went away. And because the next year it was like, then the conferences all started jumping on board and being able to pay with it. And then it reverted again.
Yeah.
So, and then it just always stayed that way since BTC has had high fees and nobody wants to deal with all that stuff. So, yeah.
I just saw that and I was like, wouldn't that be a prime time to show how great and amazing Lightning is? And how usable it is for everybody, because that's their whole thing is Lightning is the solution.
Yeah.
And I just, like, why wouldn't you want to push that? But it's like you're promoting crypto and now you're punishing for people for wanting to use crypto.
Mm-hmm. So I think Mark actually has some good videos out or coming out. I think coming out. Mm-hmm. I think one was about Blockstream specifically and who they are and the fact that they're backed by these companies that have ties to the banks and everything. So... Mm-hmm. When you see all the evidence, it's kind of hard to not believe that a lot of the people in high power in the BTC side don't really want it to succeed as a peer-to-peer cash at all.
No.
So, and Lightning will not do it. So,
at the long term, if it's a store of value, eventually it stops becoming a store of value because there's no more to store because everybody's already storing it and no new people can store it.
And the people that can't afford the fees won't be able to store it, so it prices them out faster from that as well. So they can't store it.
Yeah, I don't even care about those people. I'm talking about all the richies. Once eventually you hold all of the supply.
It's musical chairs.
Yeah,
eventually somebody's gonna...
wants to buy some because you own some, yeah.
Yeah, but once they do that, then it's a case of who gets out of the chair first type thing. So,
and then it starts a spiral of everybody trying to get out of the chair.
So in other words, it's a big Ponzi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, in other words, everybody who tells me crypto is just a Ponzi scheme is right.
Yep. And even if BTC didn't exist and it was just BCH, or BCH was BTC and there wasn't a fork, it would still be true. Because there are absolutely elements of crypto that are Ponzi-ish.
It's true.
We went over this in like 3 podcasts.
Yeah. That was so long ago.
Yeah.
But I did see, I think he's in Miami.
Something like that.
Right? For Mark, sorry.
Yeah.
So he did a tweet saying he's going to try and onboard some, or is onboarding, or trying to, for businesses and stuff there for Bitcoin Cash.
Nice. I have been pleasantly surprised with how much heavy BCH stuff he's been doing ever since his Flipstarter got funded.
Yeah.
I think it's good that we have him on board.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely a go-getter kind of guy.
So, random topic. A lot of people in crypto, especially BCH specifically, are very anti-government, anti-taxes. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the argument is that the government takes your money and spends it on things that you don't agree with, like war. So this is something Roger Vera said quite a bit. And, you know, it's many people have said this, and there's definitely an element of truth to it, where if the governments didn't have money, they wouldn't be able to make war.
Not true. I mean, okay.
Okay, so let me get this more out. So that's what crypto would enable. If you get crypto out there and you get everybody on it, you take the power away from the governments because they lose the power of the money.
Yeah.
And therefore, they cannot do those things anymore because people won't allow it. Mm-hmm. So that's been a very common talking point. And it's been interesting to see, as horrible as it is, what's happening in Ukraine. And the fact that crypto is actively being used for war every day right now. Mm-hmm. Because people are sending money to Ukraine and very likely sending money to Russia with crypto.
Yes.
So, and if the governments didn't control money and crypto was the de facto standard out there, it actually might have been much better for Russia in this case, because all the governments and all their sanctions and stuff like that probably would have been extremely easy to get around. So it actually, in this case, you could possibly argue that the fiat money system is helping prevent
serious war.
Well,
It's
hamper
serious,
it.
But
on the flip side, people would say that, it's Russia's on the good side, but no, thanks. I'm not on that side.
I think crypto would enable more war.
Really?
Compared to governments controlling.
Yeah?
I do.
How so?
Because people are fucking stupid.
I can agree with that.
And they throw money at random shit all the time, but more so...
People can be manipulated quite easily.
Okay, so let's go big here. Let's go political here.
Okay.
Freedom convoy shit.
Yes.
And I emphasize the dumb. Fighting for rights and freedom and blah, 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 blah. Oh my God.
So this right here is going to get us like 99% of the BCH Telegram groups hating us.
That's fine.
So for those that don't know, this is about the freedom convoys in Canada.
And States. They're a little bit in the States, but they're mostly in Canada.
Yeah, so, yeah.
But their whole bullshit thing about, okay, we can't cross the border, so it's all against Canada because the U.S. says we don't want you. And so now they stink up a storm and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Not to go too political in it, but people who I used to half-ass respect in the crypto space were like, hey, let's send them crypto to get around all this shit. And it's like, okay, first of all, they can't do anything with that crypto. Because very, very few places in Canada and the States accept crypto for an actual use case. You can't just go to any gas station and fill up with your crypto and stuff compared to fiat. So they want dollars. They want fiat.
In which case they just sell the crypto and get the dollars. So.
And then so they have to KYC, yada, yada, yada. But then you're not really giving the crypto benefit. Because right now, they still have to get it back to fiat.
Well, they were getting the crypto benefit because all of the fiat money and PayPals and stuff were getting blocked. So you're getting around that.
But governments can then block it at the central exchange side.
Which they went for, yeah.
Exactly. But that's my whole thing is you get rid of all those roadblocks. You enable more freedom of money. And yes, it's your right to spend your money wherever you want. But it just does enable more freedom of anybody can send money to anyone. And people are fucking stupid. So now they send it to the freedom fighters. They send it to Russia. They send it to North Korea and China and wherever else they want to send it to. And all of a sudden you get all these little, okay, now you're voting with your money even more. And it will enable more war than governments dictating, hey, let's send $1 million here. And hey, we're going to write another check for another fake $1 million we don't really have and yada, yada, yada.
It's definitely a case of one person's freedom fighter is another person's terrorist type thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of the interesting thing to think about with this is that if you have a political party in a country that is like extreme to one side, mm-hmm. they may never gain a foothold in the country normally in today's age, say, mm-hmm. or 30 years ago, but maybe an enemy of that country politically wants that one to get in, so then they start funding it.
Yeah.
And with crypto, that would be extremely easy. Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those talking points where it's like, oh, crypto will end all war and all these government problems will go away. It's like, well...
But it won't.
There might be some truth to that, to pieces of it, but it's like there's going to be a lot of Pandora's boxes opened in other areas. And it's not so simple. Mm-hmm. I think one saying I like is that it's shades of gray. Mm-hmm. It's not all black and white. So.
Yeah. And then on to the taxes.
Oh.
Being all the BCH people specifically, and a lot of crypto people being against taxes. Mm-hmm. Except Esteban. He really likes taxes. Taxes are a good thing that are used in a bad way. So I don't think you should get taxed on your income and then taxed on everything you buy at the grocery store and then taxed on every pop can you buy and every bag of chip, yada, yada, yada. But I do think there should be a level of tax because that's how you get universal health care and basic necessities people need and blah, blah, blah. And you get unemployment benefits and disability benefits and all that kind of stuff. But I do think that there should be a level of, there should 100% be, you can decide the majority of where your taxes go.
Yes. Yeah, it would be much more, I think it'd be much more fair if it was like that. Mm-hmm. And gamify it a little bit where it's like, oh, you funded healthcare, therefore you get these little perks type thing or that type of stuff. Yeah, I think that would make more sense.
Like, it'd be nice if, like, I'm all for everybody having their own rights to choose and shit. But if you choose certain things, you get better rights kind of thing. So it's like, oh, you fund healthcare? Okay. You now get, I don't know, the clean X-ray room instead of the dirty one. I say that as a healthcare worker, they're all dirty. But no, just like, you get certain things for the things you fund. So it's like, hey, you fund, let's go, gas vehicles are going away and we're all in an electric world and stuff now. So it's like, you funded electrical infrastructure. Okay, you get a discount on your electric for charging stations because they're all going to cost once we go big enough because you funded it. Or it's like, hey, you help build parks and pools and whatever else, so you get a discount on that. Or, those kind of things. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes rewards for being good.
Yeah.
And you get a cookie, and you get a cookie, and popcorn NFTs.
I think the biggest thing is just choosing where it goes, though.
Yes.
Because right now it's like it gets taken from you, and you don't have a say. Mm-hmm. And that's where like the whole, it's used for war comes in. So
yeah. But it's also used for really stupid shit, like paying for your
hotels for your politicians
and their coffee every day, and lunch and dinner at all their meetings, and that can add up a lot.
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting little talking point.
I think it would enable more. I'm not anti-government.
No, I think we actually differ a little bit from
the average crypto person.
Well, I would kind of argue it might almost be the loud people generally aren't the majority.
It's true. That's true.
All right. I think that's it. Chances are it'll be over a month again till the next one.
Yep.
Based off our pattern. So
yep.
Until then, have a good one.